Alright, what's up Street Talks? Eric from the Eric Street Photography Blog. This is my boy Jerry Pena on the streets of New York.
Hello.
So Jerry, we're gonna do an impromptu interview. So yeah, tell us your story. You know, how'd you get into street photography?
Well, just having a lot of time in my hand.
Yeah.
And having a camera.
Nice.
Nothing to do.
So tell us a little bit about, you know, I guess what draws you to street photography?
Just capturing moments that otherwise wouldn't be captured, I guess.
Yeah.
And then, you know, having them for yourself. I don't know, it's just a very addicting thing for some reason.
You talk a little bit about street photography keeping you sane. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Well, yeah, you know, I work construction, got a lot of time off in between jobs.
Yeah.
And instead of just sitting around doing nothing,
yeah,
might as well go out and do something, make some art.
Nice. Then
I started off shooting video, like making documentaries.
Okay.
And I found that it's really, you know, intensive process of finding a subject, staying with the subject, and you know, then eventually doing the edit.
Yeah.
And I just found that street photography gave me that quick fix I needed, really, you know, because everything was right there in the frame.
And who are some street photographers you've been inspired by?
You know, the regulars: Alex Webb, Jeff Mermelstein, Mark Cohen, of course. Basically, and I've been looking a lot of like Magnum photographers, the war photography, you know. Just I don't know, that stuff.
Like which of the Magnum photographers?
I can't really think off the top of my head right now, but you know, Notchway, of course.
Yeah.
And this other guy, just read about him today. I can't pronounce his name. Maybe I'll get back to you on that one.
Okay, right on. And then so you're shooting street photography in color?
Yes.
On color film. So
Portrait 400.
So tell us about, you know, your little baby. And
well, Bessa R4M.
Oh, stop for a second. Yep.
Biogon.
Yep.
I don't know. Not much to really say about it. It just works. So I like the 35 frame lines because they're very small. Can you see in there?
Maybe. Let's see if you could point at something. Not sure if that'll turn out.
But for me, like when you're composing in the street, it puts everything right there.
Yeah.
And I don't have to go searching for my eye, really. And plus, I do a lot of times when you like see a subject and you don't want to disturb them, kind of like look the other way, and then you can still see him at the corner of the viewfinder. And then you slowly just compose. Just small tricks.
So when you're shooting on the streets, like, you know, what are like some of the settings you use on your Bessa? I
usually stay at 8 or 11 in the light, but around, you know, dark street like this, you know, 4 to 5, 6.
Yeah.
And just always stay, you know, 250 and above. You know, so you just freeze the motion.
And you're shooting with Portrait 400, and you said you were pushing, right?
Push to 800, yeah.
So can you share why you push your 800?
Just for situations like this. What is it? So I'm getting like 5, 6 at 250, which is good. Yeah. Otherwise, I have to be at 4 at 250. It gives just more depth. Yeah. Less focus error. You know. And I kind of like. I've been liking the contrast it gives. It gives more kind of like deeper blacks and maybe richer colors. I don't know. I haven't shot without pushing him for so long that I forget what it's like not to push.
What's interesting, so you started shooting film, but you never tried digital, really?
Well, I mean, I've had a digital camera. Just I couldn't use it on the street, really. It wasn't working well. Maybe I just didn't know how to use it. You know, I used a 5D. Yeah. And it just, I don't know, I like zone focusing with a manual lens, really. You know, I use hyperfocal or I use zone. And I don't know. I mean, obviously digital cameras work for the street, but it's just for me, I find this to be better. I really like the rangefinder, and I'm not rich, and I can't afford a digital rangefinder, so I had to stick with film. Yeah,
but I mean, like, you know, I'm loving your color work. Like when you're out shooting on the streets, do you look for colors specifically? Yeah,
definitely. I guess it's a combination. You look for interesting subjects or scenes, and then if there's color there, that's an added bonus. Or it's the other way around. You look for colors that lead to a scene or a subject, you know. I found that blue through, I don't know if it's the lens or the film, but blue comes out so rich with this.
And then like how you developing and scanning your film and stuff?
I sent it to Accurate Photo in Brooklyn, and they send it back to me, and I cut it and scan it. I don't trust people cutting it. And bad experience with cutting my frame in half.
Because I really like the colors you're getting. Can you share a little bit about the technical settings with your scanner and what scanner you use and stuff like that?
To tell you the truth, it's the Canon CanoScan F9000F, and I just took it out of the box and scanned. Yep. And I haven't really mess with any settings. I use like the settings it comes default as.
Yeah.
And for editing, don't even have an editing program. I just double click the image and.
Oh really?
You know, that little box comes up. It says like sharpening, adjustment, and all that.
Yeah.
And you turn the sharpness up a little bit, because on the scanner it scans flat.
Yeah.
So then you just have to adjust the contrast and sharpness, and that's all.
You know, when you're on the street, like, what are you looking for?
Yeah, I really couldn't tell you. I mean, I guess my pictures speak for themselves. I don't know. It's just strange things that normally, well, you know, you look for things that are normal, but then you try to somehow make them your own, you know?
Yeah,
Just like, I've been doing a lot of like obscuring faces, and you know, you just want to click your shutter normally when you're not supposed to click your shutter, really, you know? It's like you know, you taught to shoot one way, and then if you make it look like something else, then maybe it'll come out nice.
And you're talking a little bit about the difficulty you've been having, like editing down your work and trying to make some coherence about it. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I mean, when you shoot randomly for so long, you get a lot of random shots.
Yeah.
And you just got to find, I mean, you can go out looking for stuff.
Yeah.
Or you can shoot randomly. And I shoot randomly. And I guess I look for stuff in my edit, I don't know. And I don't know, it just becomes stressful sometimes when you feel like, you know, you're your own boss and you have chaos and you have sometimes you feel like you don't have any direction, really.
Yeah, yeah.
But like I was talking to you about,
you
know, finding color patterns and just similarities in different images overall can be a concept in itself, you know. See how it goes.
And it's crazy. So you live in upstate and you come out via the train every single day.
I drive down to the Lincoln Tunnel parking lot.
Yeah.
And take the bus over.
And how long you shoot in the city before you head back?
I get here like 10:30, leave around like 6.
It's like a proper working day.
Proper
8 hours.
working day.
Yeah.
You gotta do something. Yeah.
And like, what would you say is like you know, your keeper rate?
Well, I sent in last batch was 18 rolls and I got like maybe 3, 4. But I mean, like, keeper for me is like, you know, like gold, but don't really come across gold too much.
What is the keeper for you?
I don't know, just everything works in the frame. The color's there, the subject's there, the framing, composition. It's hard to come by, but that's why you go out every day and look for it.
And so people who are interested in shooting more like color street photography, maybe especially with film, you know, and also maybe they're a little bit like, you know, scared or they don't have as much confidence to, what are some advice you would give?
Just do it. I mean, if you're gonna shoot color film, obviously, you know, you gotta be prepared to put some money into it. But I mean, when I shot digital and I got a keeper, I always said, oh, I wish this was on film. So might as well just always stick to film, so it's just always there on film. And plus hard drives and wires, they'll give me more stress than I need.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, were you saying shoot it on film?
Yeah, and
like
then just some tips, maybe shooting street photography on film or a rangefinder or anything
like that? I think before you go serious, obviously stick to one film, one lens, one camera, and then you always know your exposure, you know?
Yeah,
And for me, the toughest thing in the beginning was getting the exposure right.
Okay.
You know, because I'd see something over there in the dark shadows, but I'm in the light, and my camera's set up for light, and I panic, you know, and you miss a shot. So if you always know your light, then...
So how do you meter?
I do off my hand. Like that.
You said that you overexposed a little bit?
Yeah, well, I normally overexpose anyway, like if
by how
scene
much?
by half a stop, I just do it. It's better for printing and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And, but when I'm in bright light, I do one stop over my hand.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, you know, tilt your hand so that's in the light that's hitting your subject.
Yeah.
And if you do one stop over your hand, then your scene should be nicely exposed.
And how about like, because when I see you shoot, you know, you're pretty close. You're like 3 to 4 feet away. You know, you snap. Like, how did you, I guess, build your confidence in street photography? What's some tips you could give in terms of like when you're shooting?
I don't know. I always liked approaching strangers and people.
Yeah.
Especially with a camera. I always found that it's interesting how a camera changes a scene.
Yeah.
How it changes people's attitude and stuff like that. Coming from video.
Yeah.
But as far as like dealing with, are you saying like dealing with people?
Yeah, so like, you know, how you build your confidence.
I just don't make eye contact. If I don't want to disturb the scene and I want to take a couple shots, you don't make eye contact, you know? Otherwise, obviously that's the first recognition that they're someone of interest.
Yeah.
And If you do get, like, sometimes I do make an obvious interaction with a person, and you just always make you take your distraction away from the camera, you know, and turn it into something about them. So, you know, I told you about the tie, like.
Yeah, so complimenting?
Yeah, and everyone loves a compliment.
Yeah. Tell the one about what you do with the suits.
Oh, you always, you know, you just say, oh, man, nice suit, man, nice tie.
And how they respond?
Hey, thanks, you know.
Yeah.
Everyone likes a compliment.
Sweet.
And always smile, of course.
Yeah, always smile. Nice. Any last things you'd like to share, like things you're working on, or last words you want to just get out there?
No, I'm just trying to do more coherent work, I guess. And I guess just if you want to go try to shoot film, just go do it.
And where can people find more of your work?
Right now, one of my resolutions for the year is to build a website. So, but right now, Flickr. My name's Cheeseface on it, Jerry Pena Cheeseface.
That's with a Z, right?
Cheese with a Z,
yeah.
one word.
Nice.
And I don't know. That's it.
All right, sweet. Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
All right.
Nice cones.
So that photo you just took, what was going through your mind? Or what did you see?
I don't know, just the orange, and then maybe him extending his arms at the same time, both ways, with both cones.
Yeah.
And then if you get caught, you just say nice cones.
Nice cones. And how do you respond?
Oh, thanks. As if they were his cones.
Yeah.
I used to walk around and, you know, just take my shot and move on really quick.
Yeah.
And I looked really shady.
Yeah.
And people think shady things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I figured if, you know, just take your time, and situations where people ask, like, oh, well, were you taking my picture? And you say, yeah, and you compliment on them.
Mm-hmm.
And it always really turns out, so far, turns out for the better.
When you started street photography, would you say you're a little bit more nervous or timid?
Oh, of course, and that showed in, like, how I interacted with people. You know, just kind of, like, taking it and walking with not smiling and, you know, being more, have a concerned look on my face.
Yeah.
Which is off-putting to people that you're just, like, shooting.
Yeah.
Because in the end, they just want to know what the hell's going on.
Yeah. So tell us how you bumped into Jeff Mermelstein.
It was probably like 2 years ago. It was when I first started really taking my shooting serious, and walking up Fifth Avenue and spot the guy with the Leica.
Yeah.
And it was weird. We were kind of like, he'd go in for a shot, and then I'd go in for a shot. It was kind of like we were like testing each other in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
And then finally got to the corner, and I was like, oh, nice Leica. What are you shooting with? And he told me a 35, and I looked up, and I was like, oh man, are you Jeff Mermelstein? And he said, yeah, and he's a really nice guy.
And what, yeah.
And, you know, then we just like shot for another like block or two. And I didn't really want to bother him because he looked very concentrated.
So what about Jeff Mermelstein's work do you love?
Just how it's, I don't know, it's kind of just having that random eye. You know? And the things he finds and sees and frames is like just perfect. For, you know, to me.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just really someone who I connect with more. You know, you got Alex Webb, his is more of like insane scenes that are just so well composed. Yeah. Mermelstein's more, I feel, more free-willing, and if it works, kind of, you know? But at the end, I was like, oh, all right, man, see you later, good luck. He goes, no, good luck to you.
Oh! So Jerry, when you were taking photos of those kids, what were you thinking? Or what did you see?
I just liked how they were both, I don't know, the separation and the empty space in between.
Yeah.
Buildings in the background. Maybe it will make a good shot, maybe it won't.
So what'd you see?
Leopard prints, of course. That's a good leopard print.
So Jerry, you're shooting in New York City. What people think is the most interesting city in the world for street photography. You ever get bored shooting here?
Yes, all the time.
How'd you get bored shooting in New York City?
Just seeing the same thing all the time. I mean, it's my fault because, you know, I should obviously explore new places, but
yeah.
I mean, it's New York. You don't have to stay in Manhattan. You go anywhere, but after a while, same streets. Everyone looks the same, and especially in the wintertime, everything's black. Everyone's wearing black coats.
Yeah. So what do you do when you're?
Clothes.
What do you do when you get bored or uninspired?
You try to go somewhere new. I just freaked out and went down to Florida for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Try to get inspired down there. The light is insane down there.
I mean, where in Florida were you?
Cape Coral, Fort Myers area.
Yeah.
Southwest Florida.
Yeah.
Just vibrant colors everywhere. Everyone's wearing bright color shirts. It's just really good for street photography in color, you know?
Nice.
Nice time, man. Huh? Nice time. Thank you.
Nice time, man.
Hello.
It's blue.
That's a good response, blue.
So what did you try to do on that one?
I tried to cut his forehead off just to make it a little more, not so obvious of a quick picture. And I noticed that the girl behind him was also wearing pink. So
oh, perfect.
The cut frame could make it more visible of the pinks. I don't know.
More edgy too.
More edgy, whatever the word is.
Nice.
What's your name?
Yeah, man.
Tim. Tim, old school. Nice to meet you. All right, old school. Actually, today is my birthday.
Happy birthday, man.
Oh, happy birthday.
My birthday.
Have a good day, man.
Have a good day, old school.
So what would you say, Jerry?
Every time you're going out, it's literally like practice because you learn something new every time. Whether it's about who you are as a photographer or based, just your camera settings and what works best for you.
Yeah.
So I think it's practice makes perfect, I guess. Try to remember something from each trip, But for me, it's literally a trip traveling down.
How long's the trip?
About an hour and a half till you get to the tunnel, and then 10 minutes on the bus.
So you gotta make it count, right?
Gotta make it count. Gotta go home with something.
Yeah. See how fast you are.
No. Put me to the test.
It's gonna be the Winogrand rewind test.
This camera that's pretty easy to load, that one, right?
Yeah, this one's easy.
You just drop it in basically.
Pretty much.
This one you gotta line up. Should be good.
All right, ready to go.
I hope.
That was nice.
She's a classic New Yorker.
Classic New Yorker. So sometimes if you see somebody interesting from the front, you'll turn around and...
Oh yeah. Let's go for it, I guess.
So Jerry, what are you looking for right now?
I really don't even know. Just interesting person with maybe some color besides black coat.
Yeah.
When I know, I'll tell you.
Nice.
Businessman, of course.
Kick your car, man.
The light, man.
So one question I have for you, Jerry, is why do you shoot in color? Why not black and white?
I started shooting black and white when I first started, and I don't know, everything's in color. When you see something in color, how are you going to shoot in black and white? I don't know. I just need the color.